Aloha interwebs, welcome back to my channel. Thanks for tuning in. Today is Monday, so we're going to do a movie Monday, and I finally got a chance to check out Oblivion. And I've been waiting for this one to come down the pipe for a while, and when I first heard about it, it kind of reminded me of a TV show that ran back in the 90s. It was called The Outer Limits. And it was actually a two-parter, and it was about basically aliens tricking humans into blowing themselves up while we were at war with each other. And that's what the premise sounded like to me when I first heard about Oblivion. So I wanted to check it out because I actually really like that Outer Limits episode. I'll put the links to it down here somewhere. It's on Hulu. It's fun. The first one's got the guy from Terminator 2 in it. It was the Liquid Terminator guy. And the second one has Will Wheaton in it. Who doesn't want to see some old school Will Wheaton? So why don't you guys check out the trailer to Oblivion, and we will talk about it.
The last Super Bowl was played right here.
Jason, tell me it was a classic.
Classic game. 80,000 people on their feet. Seconds left on the clock. So Hubie throws a Hail Mary. Touchdown! 166, back online.
Alrighty, interwebs. How's Oblivion? Let me first start off by saying that I'm pretty middle of the road on this movie. I started off liking it, and then towards the end, I didn't. Just some inconsistencies in the story that were really bugging me in my brain, and I couldn't stop thinking about them long enough to enjoy the rest of the movie. Visually, it's very visually stimulating. The cinematography is great in it. There's a lot of good cut scenes, a lot of great action scenes. Like the post-apocalyptic vision of the world is pretty interesting. I always like those kinds of movies where, you know, it's post-war and the world is blown up, and what people, you know, visionary directors and things like that think about how the world is going to look after that. So it's give or take. It was a fun movie to watch, but in the end, it disappointed me. I was actually set up to be disappointed about this movie. There's something about it was bugging me with the story. I didn't think that they were going to be able to wrap it up in a nice, neat little package in order for it to make sense. And the movie started off great, with a great pace and a good story and a believable scenario, and then somewhere it just towards the end it just started losing me, and it started getting more and more unbelievable, which made the movie more and more annoying as I watched it. So yeah, I guess on a scale of 1 to 10, I'd be like a 5 or a 6 on it. Very middle of the road. I would suggest watching it because it is going to be one of the big, you know, blockbuster movies of the year. It's very visually, you know, stimulating. The story is good. It just doesn't follow up to my expectations anyways. And it's Tom Cruise, you know. Tom Cruise, I think his, you know, the action genre is his element. I think he's a very diverse actor, but I think the world just likes watching Tom Cruise, you know, blow things up. So for that, it's entertaining, but it fell short for me at the end, and I wanted to talk about it. So we're going to get into some spoiler situations. So if you don't want to be spoiled on this particular movie, you haven't seen it yet, or you want to make that determination for yourself, go ahead and turn off this video now. And then when you watch it, come back and tell me if I was right or I was wrong. Nobody ever does that, but I like saying that in these videos anyways. So, turn off. Alrighty, spoiler time. There's really only one kind of inconsistency in the story that was bugging me. Basically, the Tom Cruise character. I don't want to get too spoilery and jump into a whole bunch of different things, but basically Tom Cruise's character is tasked with a job, and it's a very strict, very firm job. You do ABC, you come home, you go to sleep. The next day you get up, you do ABC, you come home, you go to sleep. And that's all you're supposed to do. But this character is having dreams and thoughts, and you know, he thinks there's more out there and better things out there, so he takes it upon himself at some point in his life to explore the absolutely restricted zone. and he finds a house by a lake, and he starts collecting all these things from the fallen world that kind of spark little memories. So now he's got this house by a lake that's actually supposed to be in this quarantine zone that nobody's supposed to go in. He's not supposed to go in there. And we see later in the movie that, you know, there's something going on in one of these quarantine zones, and he's not supposed to go in there, but he breaks the rules and he does it anyway. And basically what it comes down to is these quarantine zones are overlap zones where he could possibly run into one of these other drone maintenance people, and he is supposed to be the last person left on the planet. There's actually other drone maintenance people on the planet, and guess what? They're exact copies of him, because he's actually a cloned by the aliens to maintain these giant machines that strip the world of all of its, you know, its national resources. And if you went into one of these quarantine zones, he might actually accidentally run into himself, basically, and the aliens don't want that. But he's already done that by sneaking into the area with the mountain lake house that he has now. So I was just thinking that, man, if he had done that, if this version of the clone had done that, what was to stop any other versions of the clones doing it and possibly running into each other and causing a big alien paradox? And you know, there's humans on the planet, and they know about these clones. They know all about what's in the restricted areas, and for some reason they, you know, this particular clone shows a kind of a propensity to relating to the old human life, so they deem him worthy of, instilling upon him the knowledge of what's really going on, and in the hopes that they'll help him, they'll help the human race kind of overcome this big alien thing, which I get it's just a ship orbiting the planet and sucking us dry of our resources. And I don't know, I just think that somebody would have, you know, one of the clones would have figured that out before now. Or I don't know what makes this clone so special that he's, you know, he's the rule breaker. I just would have assumed if he's tapping into the humanity that existed within him before the cloning, that other ones would have too. And I don't know, it just seems very inconsistent with me. So just towards the end of the movie, as you would think that, you know, and things are being answered, I actually just had more and more questions as it was going along. So it was hard for me to suspend my disbelief. And come the end of the movie, I was just like, yeah, it's not that good. Which was a bummer, because it actually had the potential to, you know, be great, but they decided to make it lukewarm. That's how I saw it. That's what I thought of it. What did you think of it, interwebs? You tell me. Tell me if I'm crazy, or if you're even still watching this. I don't even know. Anyways, thanks for stopping by the channel, interwebs. I appreciate it. Peace out. Enjoy the rest of your week. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel. Catch you guys in the next video.